Let's cue the intro. What's going on, everybody? My name is Tony Mendoza, and we are in the heart of the Gulch with somebody who is making some awesome moves out here in Nashville, Tennessee. So from Eastern Kentucky, you may recognize her from having a radio called Songbird Radio in Eastern Kentucky, but now she is in Nashville, Tennessee. The one, the only Taylor Austin Dye.
Oh, the sound effects. I love it. This is great already. This is great. I'm great. Thank you for having me on.
So, well, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming to the heart of the Gulch where there's nothing but construction.
Love that.
But you were not too far away the other day. You were right at Live Oak. Is that right?
Last night, Live Oak, yeah.
Oh, how was that?
It was great, honestly. Yeah. Such a good show. I stacked around. I had my buddy Mason Horne, who I'm putting out a song with, Chad Warricks, Graham Barham, just killer dudes. Yeah. Love those guys. So it was a great round.
Well, yeah. I appreciate you coming on. I mean, we got a lot to talk about because I want to get to know you.
All right.
I want to know. I already kind of know a little things, but we're going to find out a little bit more. But talk to me about Eastern Kentucky. What's the name of the city that you were around, where you went to school and you learned everything there is about bourbon, I'm guessing?
Well, I'm originally from Booneville, Kentucky, born and raised, population 111.
Oh gosh.
110 now, I guess, since I'm gone. But okay. Yeah, born and raised, and then eventually graduated high school from there, and then I went to college in Georgetown, Kentucky, which is kind of central northern Kentucky, where I actually got a BA in vocal performance, so I'm classically trained.
Classically trained with classical music, right?
And business, yeah.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
That's not an easy feat.
It was a lot of work, and I did not know what I was getting into, but I'm really glad that I did it.
Well, you got to talk to me about how when you're growing up, everything... You had the voice, right? So I'm guessing it was a smaller town. Yeah. So since you were the one, I'm guessing you must have done parties. You must have done, all the things from the 4th of July, the pledge. Did you have to do all those things with the voice that you got?
I did a lot at home. I actually started playing when I was 5. About an hour from home, there's a event space. They have concerts. It's called Renfro Valley, which I recently went back to. We can talk about that later. But started out when I was 5 years old, going there, being on the Young Country, the barn dance, and I would play the fiddle, sing, and clog.
Play the fiddle
all at the same time.
Yo, yeah. I haven't met too many people that play the fiddle.
Well, I don't anymore.
Okay.
I mean, I still can, but I play guitar. Obviously, I back myself up on that.
And you do a damn good job of playing guitar, by the way. Actually, that deserves the applause.
And I play mandolin, a little bit of banjo, a little bit of bass. Just like I dabble in all the strings. Yeah,
well-rounded. That's all that matters. And so, okay.
And I play by ear, so that's kind of the thing that helps me get by with all the string instruments.
Oh man!
Yeah.
And so, what was your first initial kind of introduction to songwriting? I'm guessing it must have been while you're still in Kentucky for sure. Had to be.
Yeah. So I started writing songs when I was probably 12 years old, I guess, and they were really bad songs. But the first song I wrote, I think, was a song about my music teacher, and he taught me by ear as well. Like, he would just play something to me and I'd play it back to him. His name's Bob. Still love that guy.
Shout out to Bob.
But the first song I wrote was a song about me and Bob. It was called Me and Bob, and I just remember that was kind of like one of the first ones I ever wrote. So and then they progressively got a little bit better, I think. And then I put out an album back in 2015, 15, and I wiped that from the face of the earth because
you did?
I did, yeah. So you couldn't find that one, could you?
That's why my girlfriend couldn't find that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it was, I moved here and I just thought that album was did not really represent me and, what I was going for in present day. So I kind of just...
Well, I mean, that's one thing I can't wait to talk about later on, because I think your look, number one, phenomenal.
Thank you.
But do you have the voice? You freaking have the voice. No, seriously, it sounds amazing.
I'll take a drink to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I'll take a drink with you. What are you drinking on right there? Do you remember what it was?
Rock Hill.
Rock Hill Farms? Well, I'm drinking on... What am I drinking on? I saw myself pour it. It was a Heaven Hill it's Evan Williams red label, which is only available in the distillery or overseas in Japan. But I'm just gonna give myself a round of applause for having those two awesome bourbons out right now.
No, you have a killer collection of bourbon. I'm very impressed.
Don't tell nobody that, all right? And don't tell anybody where we're at. All right. We are in the heart of the Gulch. And so, Taylor, what I want to know is when you made that transition from Kentucky, and you already took trips to Nashville, right? You had to. You had to, right? It's not like Texas. In Texas, you're only going as far as Texas because it takes about 8 hours to get out, right? Have you been to Texas at all?
Oh, I've drove across Texas before.
Oh, you have? Where's your favorite town in Texas? Just I want to know.
We stopped in Dallas. Alamo is in.
Yeah, San Antonio.
That's where you're from. Okay. I was there.
I respect that.
And you could look over and see Juarez, right? That was in.
No. That is
I went
El
there
Paso.
too. Oh, I went there too. Okay, I went there. I'm trying to think. This was a long time ago.
See, I'm not disrespecting Kentucky
2015 maybe. Yeah, I don't know a lot about Texas. All I know is I love Buc-ee's. We just got a Buc-ee's in Kentucky not too long ago. So
she just played at your first ever whiskey jam, right? Oh, shout out to that.
It was, and on the outdoor stage.
And on the outdoor stage outside, I'm guessing losers or something, or winners,
Back parking lot.
And she had a Buc-ee's shirt with a red hat on.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, who is that? And why does she sound so good? And why haven't I talked to her yet? So it was the Buc-ee's, to be honest with you. When I saw that Buc-ee's shirt, I was like, all right, we need to have this interview right now. So that's for sure.
Dude, nothing's better than Buc-ee's. Yeah, you need to do that.
Stop hyping me up, yo. All right, so let's get back to it. So you took trips to Nashville a bunch of times.
Yep.
But what really gave you that, okay, it's about that time. Let's move to Nashville. I'm tired of driving an hour away to a Walmart. Tell me about it.
I would come to Nashville in the summer and do this program called Kids on Stage when I was younger. And I begged my mom and dad, please, can we move to Nashville, Never did. And so I always knew I wanted to come here. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to college. I got a scholarship. I was a first generation college student. So
congratulations.
Thank you.
You know I got to do that.
I love this thing. I need this button to just follow me around all the time. But anyway, so I was like, I'll go to college, study some music, and then, as you mentioned, I had a radio station,
Songbird Radio.
I was on.
I don't remember the name of it.
WSKV.
Okay, WSKV.
And I did a 3-hour drive time show every day of the week, and that was fun. I love that, and I love being around the music. But still, I was still playing shows, but I wasn't full in, as I wanted to be.
Now, not to cut you off in this story because it's a good story, but what did Songbird Radio really give you? Did that give you a sense of connection with the fans?
It was great, and honestly, it used to be a request hour, and when I took over, they were like, you don't have to do request hour. You don't even have to answer the phone. But I liked it. I liked talking to people. So when people would call in, I would just pick up and we'd talk for a while. And if they had something to say, I'd pop them on the air and we'd just have a little conversation. And I'd do trivia and I'd give away tickets and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I had a very loyal fan base. I mean, I had several people that would call in every day and talk to me.
Were they considered the ride or dies yet?
Not yet.
Okay. We're going to talk about that in a second, but keep going.
They're just the fans of Songbird Radio. But anyway, so I was on radio and I was doing that for about a year and a half. And then I realized that I really just wanted to make the move. And I came down here to do a talent show at Margaritaville, the strangest thing.
Shout out to Margaritaville.
That's I was upstairs and then they saw me and one of the managers came up to me after the talent show and they said, hey, do you want to play, actually play here? And I was like, yeah, of course. So I was driving that 4-hour drive playing, 8 to midnight and then driving 4 hours back to Kentucky and losing an hour. So it'll be 5 a.m. by the time I got home.
Oh my God, you were really doing that.
So I did that, I was doing that 2 and 3 times a week. And finally I was just like, I'm doing it. I didn't know anybody down here except for, the people in Margaritaville. I had no friends down here really because I was just driving in, driving back. And I just made the plunge and I that kind of just showed me that I was ready for it.
Yeah, you're ready to take it for a career. You're ready to dive straight in.
Yep.
When was that? Do you remember? I'll let you grab a drink so I'll keep on going here because Nashville is always, and you guys know this in the heart of the Gulch, this ain't our first episode, yo. So Nashville is consistently growing. This town has gone in from, I'm guessing from when you were growing up and you saw how small Nashville was this city has exploded.
Yeah.
So
every day.
Yeah.
Even now.
Every day. Like, I mean, I moved here 2 years ago. So that was my question. My original question is, when did you officially make the move? How long ago was it? A couple years?
My official move was the very beginning of 2018. So
okay. So prior to COVID, prior to the tornado,
yes,
all the bad things.
A little over 4.5 years ago now.
Oh, man. So you've been here for a little while. You've been making some noises here in Nashville. So why did you just get on Whiskey Jam? Because I feel your voice is amazing.
So the reason that I was on Whiskey Jam was because of my buddy Jay Cutler. I don't know if you follow sports at all. So he was like, oh, I'm putting on this Whiskey Jam. We want you on it. So they got in contact with Ward, and Jay was actually the reason that I was on that Whiskey Jam. So.
Well, you know what? That's how you get into opportunities like this. Yeah. You get into opportunities to do more shows. And like I said, you know, Heart of the Gulch fans, your family, one thing you guys got to realize is that not every day, I'm not usually starstruck every day by meeting people, but, you know, there's certain people with the right sound, with the right look, with the right talent that I'm actually very happy to meet. So, Taylor, I'm really happy to meet you today.
I'm happy to meet you.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to stop fangirling out over here. So you made the plunge to Nashville in 2018. What inspired you when you went downtown and when you heard these different musicians? Was it the voice that was inspiring you? But I mean, when you go to Broadway, it is the same songs over and over again, like the Nelly song. But the thing is, was it the voices? Was it finally getting to be around people that were similar minded? Or was it just how down to earth everybody is here in Nashville?
Well, you know, everybody's working toward the same goal here, you know, and you don't really meet a ton of bad people here. Like, I can count on one hand a list of bad
yeah, I agree with that.
You know, that I've had, the interactions that I've had with people. But just being around those like-minded people and being around people that are hungry like you makes you want to work harder. And, you know, you see people, when I first moved down here, I saw these guys that were playing like doubles and triples down on Broadway. And I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to work for it. I want to work hard. I want to build my fan base. And that's what I did. I was playing, like, there was one week I know I played like 12 shows on Broadway, and I was just like dead that week. And
I've done 4 interviews today and I can't even talk, so I can't even imagine singing to the bachelorettes, to the bachelors, you name it. It's all kinds of people just yelling at you the whole time.
Free bird.
Oh man.
But yeah, it just made me want to work even harder just being around this scene.
So I gotta ask how you met your fiance, Ben. So Ben is, for everyone that's watching, Ben is also part, I guess it's not necessarily a band, right? It's your name, but he plays the drums, and he's a phenomenal drum player, by the way. So talk about when you met him.
So this is kind of a long story, but not too long. We're both originally from Eastern Kentucky. He's from about an hour down the road from where I'm from. And I used to open up for this band called Halfway to Hazard. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they had some success. And when they would come back to Kentucky, I would go and open for them wherever they were in Eastern Kentucky. So, and then Ben was their drummer and tour manager. And so I kind of met him through them. And we didn't get together until I moved down here, obviously, but I've known him forever. And it was just kind of crazy how it worked out like that. So now we're all best friends, you know.
Oh, absolutely. But talk to the people about that support system. So I guess when you moved to Nashville in the beginning stages, you had to have some type of solid support system. So I'm guessing, you know, if you want to shout them out, you definitely can. But how important is that support system that you had when you transitioned here?
Oh, my mom is like, hey Jenny,
shout out to all the moms.
Love you, Mom. But no, my mom is like my number one supporter. Like, she comes down all the time. If she was here, she would never miss a show. But like, anytime I'm anywhere near home, because she still lives in Kentucky, she's there. So she even drove down for Whiskey Jam last week.
She should have.
Yeah, it was great. And no, she's been the best. Anything I need, like, she's always there.
Absolutely.
You know, doing mom things.
Well, you know, that's what moms are there for. They're there to support. Now, okay, so Nashville nowadays, and, you know, where do you enjoy going out when you go out now, outside of doing writers' rounds, outside of doing all these things? What do you enjoy? Do you enjoy going to places here in the Gulch?
We're out every night.
Yeah, every night.
When we're not on the road, which I'm usually on the road from like Thursday to Sunday, Thursday to Monday, we're out. So like, and even after, if I have shows in town, we'll go out and see friends, and I just love constantly being around it. Shout out to the local, Jeff.
Hey, I love the local, yo.
It's one of our favorite hangs. We were just there last night.
It's the most underrated, not underappreciated, because the people that go to the local. So it's for the people that are watching right now. So what is the local? The local is a bar that is located around the Parthenon, and actually right across the street from the Parthenon, and Vanderbilt area. And it is such an intimate scene. It's just, you got these songwriters for Writers Rounds. I forgot what they call it. They call it something. Do you remember what
they have? Several. They have Porch Light Pickers, Freak Show.
Yeah, that's right.
Then they have the boys, Diamond Trio, the Bushlight Trio.
It is a vibe to 110%. It is awesome. So
all the workers.
Shout out to the local, yo.
Gina, Tyler, Jeff.
Oh my gosh.
Jamie. Love y'all.
Okay, so now sadly I gotta go sweat it out over here at the Pulse of the Gulch. So
good luck.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. So let's just get sweaty now. All right, here's the Pulse of the Gulch. How long has it been since you released Water Me Down?
October of last year.
Okay.
So I'm not good at math. I'm a musician. I don't know how many months ago that was.
Well, Water Me Down is my personal favorite song of yours. And obviously, because we drink great bourbon, by the way.
Yes, we do.
But what it means in the songwriting ability that you have is, second to none. There's not a lot of people that can write like you. Now, I want to know how you got that skill. How did you get that skill of writing these songs?
Well, I think in all honesty, I'm just a good bullshitter.
Okay.
Just when it comes down to it.
That makes two of us.
But sometimes I'll get an idea, or I'll hear something someone says, and I'm like, wait a minute, say that again? Let me write that down. And then, Water Me Down, I sat on that hook for years.
Really?
Yeah. I thought I had it written down. It was kind of funny how it happened when I was moving into my apartment that I was in last year. I found a notebook out in my house, and I was just flipping through it. It was like a hook book is what we call it. And so had some ideas in there.
Yeah, idea book.
Yeah. Basically, for this song for songwriters, that's what we call it. But I was flipping through, and I landed on the page that was like, don't put ice in my whiskey because it waters it down, or something like that.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. I was like, well, I forgot about that. Let me, and then I had written, like, there's a lot of things in common between me and old Jack D. You can never handle your whiskey, you can never handle me. And that was on a different page. And I was like, what if I did this together?
Yeah, kind of
made a song out of it. And so I kind of wrote the first verse and the chorus, and I really wanted it to be special. And I have a really good songwriter friend. Her name's Kelly Johnson, and I called her and I was like,
shout out to Kelly.
Hey Kelly, if you're watching this, love you. But I called her and I was like, I want her input on this, because I feel like this is going in a cool direction, and I wanted a second opinion on it, and I know I can trust her. So she came in, and I had the first verse and most of the chorus written, and we sat down and wrote the rest of it in 45 minutes, which, if you know anything about songwriting,
that's a spark of lightning. So was it super easy once you guys wrote it all out? And then from there, you got to talk about the phenomenon that happened.
Yeah, so we wrote it. Actually, I'll tell you this. I don't know if I've told anyone this before, but I put the first verse and the chorus on TikTok before I had even written the whole song.
Really? So you put this on TikTok prior to you finishing it?
Yeah. Before I called Kelly up, and I was just like, let's see if anyone even likes this. And obviously, like, the first video I posted of it was like 300K or 400, something like that. I was like, okay, well, and everyone was like, release this. And I was like, shit, I don't even have the rest of it wrote yet.
Really?
So, I called Kelly. I was like, hey, let's do this. And then, like I said, we wrote it in 45 minutes. And then from there, it was just the recording process. And, that takes a while. And
it sounds phenomenal. So
all that stuff. So, yeah, I actually recorded 3 singles I think I was there for like 2 days. And we recorded Water Me Down, Like You Do, and Lucky Man.
Okay.
And so I had those 3 singles like in the arsenal, ready to just shoot them out whenever. So we put Water Me Down out in October, and it did so well. I just kind of let that sit for a while before I released my other one, Like You Do, in January.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then March, Lucky Man. So that's kind of how that all happened. Of course, TikTok blew up Water Me Down. It ended up being like number 22 on the iTunes country charts.
Like I said, it was a phenomenon. It was
all thanks to the fans. Like, honestly,
shout out to the fans.
Yes, thank y'all. Obviously, I'm independent. I don't have management or a team or anything like that. So that was honestly just organic.
That's what I'm going to talk about next. So obviously, I want to talk about the importance of social media. Oh. So social media is one thing that has been in our generation for, since we've been able to have a phone, right? And so I want to know, what is your take on what's your favorite type of social media? Is it going to be TikTok? Is it going to be, so you think it's TikTok no matter what because they showed you so much love?
I love TikTok because I love just scrolling and watching videos. Like I as a consumer, I enjoy TikTok. Yeah, and especially for what it's done for me in my career. You can learn a lot on TikTok. I've did all these hacks, and it's just like some of those things. It's like, why no one ever told me this? Like,
no, it's a fact. Yeah,
it's like TikTok
absolutely.
University.
Well, they should put out a degree on that. That's kind of funny. But okay, so I want to know. Sorry if I'm a little sugar happy. It's just it always goes with the timing. What is one thing that you wish you could take away from TikTok? TikTok is one of those avenues, one of those social medias that surprisingly doesn't have a lot of trolls in. Mm-hmm. TikTok's typically supportive. Mm-hmm. Now, but have you seen that transition to your streams as well, like 110%?
Yeah, it's crazy because the correlation is there, and it's that organic. I see such a translate in people following me on Instagram, and when I started TikTok, I think I had like 3,000 Instagram followers.
No way.
And it's just like an honest, like, people are coming over to my page to check it out, and they want to see where I'm playing and what I'm up to, and like they want to come out and support. And it's insane how many people actually show up to the show and say, "Oh, we follow you on TikTok," like.
Oh, now you got to give them out. Now you got to give out the name for everyone that comes to see you in the shows.
So, actually, I let them decide the name. It was between two choices. I used to go live on TikTok religiously once a week, but now it's just gotten to the point where I'm so busy, I don't sleep and I just don't have any time to do it. But so I was on live and they were trying to decide their fan base name, and I was like, we should either do Diehards or Ride or Dies. And so I let everybody vote on it on the live, and then I put a poll up on my TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, and Ride or Dies was the winner. So that's what awesome. My fans call themselves.
I didn't even know that it was all because of a poll.
Yeah.
What is more social media than that? When you think about it, and it is such a perfect name for a fan base.
Yeah.
And what is some of the craziest things that a Ride or Die has done?
I'll tell you, happened pretty recently. There was a girl that drove from Maryland. Like,
no way. Did you get her name?
Shelby.
Shelby? All right.
And she
Shout out to you, Shelby.
The lyrics to Water Me Down tattooed on her arm. And she drove from Maryland to Eastern Kentucky to watch my show and to show me the tattoo. So if you are watching this.
All right, well, whoever you are, I appreciate that's. Okay, so
that was nuts. Yeah.
How much? So what did that make you realize? Did that make you realize how much power you really have over people?
Yeah, and then someone else commented and said, "Oh, I have a Water Me Down tattoo too." So I was like, "Oh, so there's two people who just running around out in the world with my lyrics," and that just blows my mind because when I was writing that song, it never occurred to me that was going to be something that happened. But I think it spoke to a lot of people. Just be yourself, and
that's exactly what it is. I mean, so listening to your music, and I'm telling everybody that's watching Heart of the Gulch right now that you got to go listen to her music. You can follow. Well, actually, why not plug it right now? I usually make people plug it later on, but go ahead, plug it.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, go ahead, do it.
And you know what? I keep it easy. I'm Taylor Austin Dye everywhere: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. All the places. Hit me up. Taylor Austin Dye. Dye with a Y, not with an I. I'm sure it's spelled somewhere on the screen here.
Well, just pop it down right there. Just put like that. Boom. It's right there. That's how you spell it. Well, okay. So then first of all, shout out to all that. Now, when it comes down to just your fan base and having that connection, I mean, that is one thing your voice brings. And here's another thing. So when it comes down to your music it sounds from the soul. Water Me Down is a great example, right? And I sometimes assume by listening to those 3 singles that you put out is that, you must have some type of, it's not heartache. I don't consider it heartache. It's just basically almost like empowerment. I know my worth, and that's what Water Me Down's all about. Yeah. I'm not 80 proof. I'm 123 proof. Which you only got 100 proof in your hand right there. We may have to bump that up in a minute. But
tasty though.
It is. Now, when it came down to that song and that meeting your fans, the ride or dies, I mean, what is one thing that you would say is like the most, would it be the tattoo that's the most meaningful thing that's anyone's ever shown at a show, or has anyone thrown flowers at you, or? Oh,
all kinds of that stuff. But I will say this, I'm not going to out her because I know her personally.
Fair.
But I know her through TikTok. I met her through TikTok. She's a ride or die. But when I released Like You Do, she messaged me and she was like, hey, this song is really getting to me. And I was like, well, thank you. She's like, no, I'm getting a divorce. And I was like,
oh, geez.
What? And she's like, no, this song really made me realize that I'm not happy and I will be happy with anybody else, and just not happy where I'm at. So I was like, I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing.
Oh, gosh.
So that was another big thing is like, music speaks to people in all different ways.
But that's the thing. That's the scary thing I think about having that power of influence is that you're able to influence about a lot of people. Now, I want to talk about these venues. Mm-hmm. So what is some of your favorite venues here in Nashville? Now, obviously we talked about the local just a second ago, but is there a certain venue do you like a crowded venue or do you like a more intimate setting? And your voice does well in both. I mean, you can really put it out to a loud crowd. We've seen it at Whiskey Jam. And you can really make everyone know and listen to you. But do you like a little bit more quieter venues?
Not really. I like it rowdy.
Oh, you like it rowdy?
Yeah.
Oh,
I like
man.
the energy. For me, when people are out there, even if they're, not talking to me, I just like that energy when everybody's happy and drinking and just talking, palling around with each other. Like that energy is good to me as anything. And then especially when they get into the music and start, yelling in the middle of the song. Like I love that.
I never would have figured that.
Yeah.
So, I thought you were going to go straight intimate with it, but I guess it's the energy. The energy is infectious.
I'm all about the energy. If it's a quiet room and it's not a lot of feedback, I'm like, oh, damn, they don't like me, or like, what's going on? I don't know. I like the big rowdy energy.
Well, that's the thing about Nashville is that you can really find those quiet areas, right? Those quiet. I think one of them is the Bluebird Cafes. Really, really kind of. Have you played there yet?
Uh-huh. Long time ago.
Oh man!
I just did the open mic. I've not had like a round there before, but
okay. So talk to me about the rounds for the people that are watching that are not from Nashville. So one thing that we have. So since we have so much talent here in Nashville, they had to come up with writers' rounds. And writers' rounds are basically where you have a team of 4 to 3 different musicians on stage, and you're just performing the songs that you have created, or it's not even really imitation, right? It's not. If you want imitation, if you want to do a cover, you go to Broadway.
Yeah, you don't do covers at rounds. That's kind of frowned upon.
Okay, exactly. And if you do the songs that you wrote. And there's so many challenges with that though, because sometimes you may be singing in a writer's round and somebody is playing a riff while you're doing it. How do you feel about that?
That's a hard question because last night I put this round together last night, and I know all the people up there on stage with me are going to kick ass.
Yeah.
So I'm totally for it.
Okay.
Now I don't really do I used to do totally random all the time when I first moved to town. Okay. And sometimes people get on there and try to noodle and just completely
they mess it up.
Horrible.
They mess it up.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a fact.
So I'll say I love it when it comes together in the right
beautifully.
Way. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what? So just give me just off the top of your head, just one of the writers round that you actually do enjoy going to the entire venue of it and the feeling of it.
You know what? I'm a big fan of Live Oak. They have great sound. Always great people. Hasten, the owner, is just killing it over there.
I got to do it.
Yes, Hasten, if you're watching too, what's up, brother? And then it's just they always bring in good music. So I always the Raised Rowdy round is there on Sundays, on a select Sunday. I can't remember which one, but always good talent and just good sound, good songs. You're going to hear good music when you go there.
Every time that we are out listening to live music, that's one thing that Nashville had abundance of. But when it comes to your music and when it comes to your voice, what are some of the similarities? Have you had anyone talk about the similarities of your voice to anyone?
I get Miranda Lambert a lot.
Okay, yeah.
I get Ashley McBride occasionally.
That's a pretty big compliment, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's a huge compliment.
Tell me more. I think those are really the main two. I feel like there's someone else I usually get too.
Well, I mean,
those are the main two.
Just from a style perspective. So now we're talking about some clothing here, because every time I've seen you, you look flawless.
Thank you.
I mean, you look really good, and it's a package. It's a package deal. Not only do you have the voice, you also look really good.
Thank you.
So, what is your, I guess, influence for style?
That's a good question, because I feel like I draw it from everywhere.
Because you got a lot of hats.
So that was about to talk about that. I really love custom hats. I got into custom hats probably 2019, late 2019.
You haven't partnered yet, have you?
I haven't. I get a lot of my hats from Daisy May Hat Co. I've got a couple, let's see, Travis Austin, Red Belly. This one's a Rustler.
Would you want to be sponsored by any?
Yes, so
companies?
if anyone wants to sponsor me.
There you go. You heard it.
Hit your girl up. Got to be custom though. Sorry, I got a very specific.
Got to give your own
I have
taste.
specific needs, yes.
Okay. So your style. So not only the hat, but I mean, just looking at you now, you got your own look.
Yeah.
And it's something that everywhere I've seen you, you have a different look every time. Do you go in there consciously thinking like, okay, someone saw me this past Sunday, I gotta look different Wednesday and Thursday?
I just had this conversation last night, because honestly, in this industry, you're photographed so much. You're on, like right now, I'm on video. Like, you have to be kind of consciously aware of not wearing the same thing like over and over and over, and I kind of feel bad, because I am buying a lot of hats and boots and clothes, but I've been lucky to be sponsored by a couple of boutiques, and it's just like I'm always very conscious when I'm shopping about my brand and what I want to show myself in, because I might see a cute shirt with flowers on it, but do I look like I'm going to wear a cute shirt with flowers on it? You know what I mean?
I mean, and I think that's what makes you unique, is that you have a look to you. You're not like everybody else out here, and I think that's what's amazing about it, and yeah, absolutely, I'll get you a little drink of that. So now, before we go into crowd noise, I definitely want to ask you a question on just when it comes down to writing, your writing style and writer's block. And because being a great songwriter that you are, and like I said, if you haven't already stopped this video to go check her out, and then you come back to this video, you better do it. Just do it already. Now, writer's block. How do you deal with writer's block? What are ways that you get out of it?
After I released Lucky Man, I hadn't probably written a song in 2 months, and I have just now really started hitting it hard. I'm actually doing a little something that we can talk about in our next segment, but just really started hitting it back, because when I have writer's block, I don't really fight it too hard. I just kind of let it happen. If I'm not inspired, I don't want to sit down and write a shitty song, and I don't want to be in the room and writing a shitty song with somebody if I'm just not in it. And so I just kind of let it happen. And
then also being a one-person show, how are you able to get your music out there? How are you able to really, I guess, market yourself so well? I mean, how are you able to do this?
Well, I mean, honestly, I was talking about the level of organic followers and listeners that I have from TikTok and social media in general, Instagram, Facebook. But honestly, I'm on the road. I'm touring all over the eastern United States. So I'm meeting all these people. And even if like I'm at a bar and they don't know, they didn't come to see me, they're just there.
Yeah.
I will make fans or friends at least,
and your voice can do that though. Not everyone's voice can do that.
Well, I appreciate that, but that's kind of, I feel like between social media and actually getting out there on the road and working, I feel like that's just, that's the only thing I'm doing. So it's got to be that, I guess.
Well, speaking about crowds and all the noise that they make, we got to go on to the next section of crowd noise. So let's do that right now.
Taylor, would you prefer to perform on Broadway or perform in writers' rounds?
Oh, wow.
What do you think?
Do I recognize that voice?
I mean, some people say their name, some people don't. But
okay.
All right, so do you want me to play it again one more time?
One more time.
All right, one more time.
Taylor, would you prefer to perform on Broadway or perform in writers' rounds?
I don't know. It's definitely.
Don't say anyone's name.
Okay, I'm not going to.
Don't hurt anybody's feelings.
I'm not going to.
All right.
But to answer the question, I guess it depends on what kind of mood I'm in. You know, sometimes I just want to do an hour set, a couple songs, and head out. But sometimes I'm down to play covers all day. Like, everyone kind of hates on Broadway, but I love it. You know, that's where I kind of learned to really be better interacting with the crowd. And I feel like that just made me a better performer, just being down on Broadway. So, like, I'm never going to hate on it.
I mean, you know what? I never looked at it that way. When you go to Broadway, I mean, performance is everything.
Yeah.
Because they are singing the same Tennessee whiskey every night, right? So the thing is, how do you make it exciting for yourself every other night?
You know what? If it's not exciting for your crowd, you're not going to get tips.
No, and that's right.
I would like to make a living, so you know, you kind of get thrown into it head first.
Shout out to making a living, yo.
You know, you kind of got to really work it, honestly, work the crowd, and just like pick on them a little bit. Where are y'all from? What are y'all doing? Is it your birthday? You know,
that is, and I'll let you get a sip of that. But now that is the biggest thing that I've noticed on Broadway. On Broadway, some people that are very successful are the ones that connect with the crowd, the ones that are communicating with the crowd. Where are they from? But the only thing I cannot take, and it just makes me want to fight someone, is when I hear the birthday song. It's the same birthday song in every bar.
Everyone does it.
Everyone does it. It is just I don't even want to play it for y'all that are listening in Texas and in Nashville. So okay.
They actually take you out back and beat you if you don't do it.
Oh, man, it's just too much. It's too much. And then also, if you're on Broadway, so back to the question at hand. So you care to play at Broadway even if it's an expensive time to drink and hopefully they buy you drinks, right? Typically on Broadway.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're never without a drink, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, every performer has had a drink at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. No, I don't mind it. I like it. Either one. Songwriter round, Broadway, love them both.
Okay. Well, give me one more thing about songwriter round. When would you be ready to do a songwriter round?
Gosh, that's like, there's so many things. I'm spoiled now because I do a lot of really, really great and fun songwriter rounds.
You do some of the best songwriter rounds. Let's be honest here now.
So like,
that's right.
You know, I'm not saying that anyone's better than the other, but like, you know, there are certain ones that I really look forward to. Yeah. And so, you know, if it was a whiskey jam or something like that, or, you know, a raised rowdy, that's some of my favorite ones. I'm obviously going to want to do that.
Hey, man, if you're you're blessed if you're getting into those conversations. I mean, that's already telling you from a local perspective in Nashville that if you're getting into a whiskey jam, a rowdy, Live Oak, you are on that top echelon of people. So shout out to you, man. That's awesome. All right, so let's go on to another question. I think it's the last question we got here.
What's up, y'all? It's Mason Horne, and I want to ask Miss Taylor Austin Dye who she thinks is going to be the next big thing coming out of Nashville.
Mason Horne, duh.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's my boy right there. I love that kid. He is, you know, we actually met via TikTok, and you know, we've just been like, he's my little brother. He is. We're putting out a song together.
Okay, take out your brother.
Okay,
take that out. Who else will be big? Who have you seen? Because obviously you're out and about more than me, seeing different talents, seeing different looks, seeing different. I'm amazed about that bourbon. That's actually pretty damn good. All right. So who have you seen that is just doing an awesome job? And I mean, obviously you're going to get the applause when you say their name, but I mean, who have you seen out here really putting it in?
You know, I'm surrounded by so many, like my peers, like the people that, you know, in Nashville we call them classes. So like just my class right now, it's like we all moved here around the same time, you know, that kind of vibe. And there's just so many, like, just so many talented people. I don't really know if I could go through and just pick one. I mean, there's so many people that are just doing fantastic. Like
what's an artist that you can always listen to? How about that? What's an artist that you can always listen to no matter what, whether it's a songwriter's round, whether it's a Broadway show? It's just someone that you enjoy going to see. You know what I mean?
Well, I love my boys that I go see at the local all the time. Dan Alley, Will Jones, Sam Banks, Corey Hunt, obviously, all those great guys. And then I'm part of 615 House. So, you know, I'm a huge supporter of all the people in the house. You know, Thomas Mack, Abby Anderson, Chris Rudiger, my best friend Kristen Foreman. Callie Cash. I could go on. Like, I don't know. It's just these are my people, so it's just hard for me to like really narrow it down to one person. But
I gotta also admit, so when it comes down to all these different performers, and obviously, I think that everybody has such a big community feel. It's such a community. I didn't know that they were called classes. I think that's really dope that they're all called classes. And so let's transition to today, right? And let's transition to where do you want to see yourself, right? So, this is what, 2022. We're going to go into the back end of 2022. And, what's your goal for 2022 for the rest of the year in the fall time? Obviously, then watching football and drinking bourbon. What is it music-wise that you want to do?
Well, I'll be drinking bourbon year round. But I will say I am working on a full album. I can't talk a whole lot about the details of it. But I'll give y'all the down low. I am working on a full album and got some really cool people behind it, and I'm very excited for it. I'm writing for it right now. So hopefully looking to get in the studio in the fall to get in there and record it, and hopefully have it out by early next year, if not sooner.
Oh man!
Probably be dropping some singles, in between there too.
Well, I mean, at least one to keep the people alive.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, so I also heard that you're touring a lot.
Yes.
I mean, you are out here for real, because it's not only. I mean, I think. Have you noticed the jump in popularity from Whiskey Jam?
I've had a lot of people reach out to me since Whiskey Jam, so that's been very cool. Yeah,
it's something else, man. When you get into Whiskey Jam, that's how you know from the classes and the locals' perspective. That's how you know you're somebody.
Well, and for my debut to be on the big stage was just like crazy to me. I was like, "What?"
It was that outfit, yo. That outfit was fire, yo. Okay,
the Buc-ee's.
So when it comes down to the touring. And when it comes down to, having to shake so many hands and meet so many people, I mean, how do you deal with that on a daily life?
I love it.
Yeah?
I literally, if I'm at home, I'm unsatisfied.
Oh, you feel like you're not doing nothing?
Let's go. I'm ready to hit it back. But like being out and being at these stages just all around really is just so exciting, and just it's always something new and fresh and fun, and it's just like I really feed off that. Like live performance is where my heart is, if you can't tell. Like I was talking about earlier, the energy and stuff, that's super important to me. I wouldn't care if I never made another album. I want to just play live. So that's what's important to me, and that's where like I love meeting the people and just hanging out, taking shots with people, drinking, learning about their story, because there's always something to learn about somebody,
you are a lady of the people. So I like that a lot. Now, so Mason had another question. I didn't put it on to the pad here, but so Mason had a question, and the question was, who is your favorite country artist? And I told him when he asked me that question, I'm like, yo, Mason, you got to do another question, dude. Like that's I could ask that question. It don't mean nothing. So that's when he gave you that question about Nashville. But so Mason did ask that question. Mason asked, what is your favorite country artist or a person that you look up to and endear?
Well, obviously my answer is always Hank Jr. I've always been a Hank Jr. fan since I could talk. My mom would play Kalijah as my favorite Hank song. Okay. And so I had the tattoo of Kalijah here on my arm. That's kind of the story behind that. But ever since I was young, I was a huge Hank fan, and I still am. And he's just like, to me, he's the outlaw. He's someone that I would like. I want to have his name, his reputation,
Hank has inspired a lot of people.
He has.
Just like in South Texas, Willie. Yeah. Willie is our Dolly Parton.
Oh, he's God.
Yeah. I mean, even to this day, if you looked at the two old folks, it's probably Dolly and Willie are holding hands together.
Yep.
Now, one thing, have you ever performed South by Southwest yet?
I have not. Ben has.
Oh, man.
But
Ben has?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. We can't forget about Ben. What's wrong with me?
Hey, Ben.
I need to do better at that. All right, now, so what about South by Southwest? So for the viewers that are watching from Nashville that don't know what South by Southwest is, South by Southwest is really a concert week in Austin, Texas, and I don't think there's very similarities with Austin with Nashville, but that's just my opinion. Now, South by Southwest is just a local performance. Everyone comes out from everywhere. And I'm guessing that's got to be one of your, I would think, if you're going to look about touring, if you're going to look about just being out there, I'm thinking South by Southwest has to rank up there,
I would love to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's on the bucket list for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so talk to me how you're going to get everything done solo. So how are you going to be able to get all these accomplishments done without having any backing?
Well, hopefully, again, not to give too much away, but I might be having some help here in the near future.
Hey.
So fingers crossed for me. But it's like like I said, I've done everything for myself the last, how many every years, and it's getting to the point where I'm needing a little help.
Yeah,
so hopefully it's coming.
Well,
if everything goes as planned.
At the end of the day, though, it's kind of like us at the Heart of the Gulch, right? It's not about the help necessarily. It's about you're gonna do it regardless.
Oh, I'm gonna get it done.
Yeah, you're gonna be just fine. Yeah. And honestly, that's how. And when you are going to these conversations, you should honestly be like, "Yo, I need y'all, but I'm still gonna do it."
Well, that's the great thing is I'm able to book shows and I'm able to, get streams, and I have absolutely no help. And so that makes,
right.
If someone wants to come into my work, into my life, they're going to have to really put something out there that is going to be valuable to me.
That's right.
Another shot.
All right. So I got a couple minutes left here. Now I got to ask these questions because I never let anyone get out of that chair without asking this question. And the question is, not what do you have to say, but it's what do you think about you're in the public eye and you have a large following in all different areas of social media, and haters and trolls and all these people that we call them on social media, that is something that you got to deal with. And I just want to ask you, how do you stay afloat? How do you stay above it? How do you find ways to not let naysayers keep you down? And not have, and not be, we all talk to them, and we all see them. But the thing is, how do you go beyond it?
Well, I'm not going to lie. Some days it does get to me, and I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it doesn't bother me, because anyone that's just going to sit and rag on your character and they don't know you, it gets to you. But honestly, most days I do not even give them the time of day. I do not read it. I do not reply. I give them
read it?
Zero energies. If I see like something that looks like it's going to be bad, I just scroll through it. I just don't. I literally some days, like I said, it gets to me. Other times I'm just like, I will give it absolutely no energy. I won't reply. I won't even let them know I saw the comment. You know what I mean? It's just like, why bother? They just want that from you,
I'm going to read it and I'm going to respond. And if you ever want to see me, you can always see me.
So you're going to respond?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Now, that's just me, though. That's just me. I think, but see, everybody's different. So, for example, you stay beyond it by not reading it, but more importantly, that's mine right there. But it's all good. At the end of the day, I just want to make sure that when you go beyond the haters, when you go beyond the trolls, what is the typical, do you just stop looking at the comments, and then from there, how do you not let it affect you, though?
Well, let me preface this by I got some real thick skin, because when I was 15 years old, I was on American Idol, and I come from a very small town, and there's a lot of people that had a lot to say.
Yeah,
and so
absolutely.
I don't know if y'all remember the forum called Topics, but it was an anonymous forum. You could post anything, and it was by your town or by your city, whatever. You could type in Boonville, Kentucky Topics, and it would come up, all these threads. Oh, I had the worst stuff said about me you wouldn't say to a dog. And so, I was 15 years old, and I was just like, I was reading all these, and it's like, oh my God, like these people hate me. Like, there's 160 pages of just shit talk. And so I kind of, from an early age, I got it, and I learned to just
go through it. Well, first of all, okay. So now what I would like you to do is, since I just lost my camera right on this side, what I would like you to do on this is look straight at the camera and just let the people know what to expect coming up.
Y'all, I think it's going to be a wild ride. Fingers crossed. I'm never going to give up doing music, but I think we're about to really do some fun stuff coming up. And like I said, can't talk too much about it, but y'all just hang on to your hats because it's going to be a wild ride.
How can they find you?
You can find me everywhere on social media. Taylor Austin Dye. Same username everywhere. Die with a Y, not with an I. He'll put it on the screen here. I'll be Vanna White. But yeah, hit me up. Send me a message. Let's chat. Be a ride or die. Be part of it. And maybe I'll be coming to a city near you.
So, Taylor, what I would like you to do is I would like you to look into that screen right there, talk to the fans out there. And one thing that we always do is we have a day in the life. We get to go behind the scenes and see you do your thing. And I cannot wait for everyone to see you do your thing. But the way that we always do it is you say your name. So, hi, I'm Taylor Austin Dye.
Okay.
And this is how I walk the line.
All right.
And from there, we're going to transition in that way. We'll have a little bit of an outro here. But other than that, you ready to go?
All right, let's do it.
All right. And after the applause, 1, 2, and...
Hey, y'all. I'm Taylor Austin Dye, and this is how I walk the line.
She's your Sunday morning, and I'm your Friday night. She's your top shelf, treat yourself, and I'm a cold Miller Lite. She's a pretty sundress, I'm an red pair of jeans.
What's up, y'all? We're here at Assembly Food Hall. This evening I'm playing it in a songwriter round. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's just basically where songwriters get up in a round style. One person sings a song and the next, all original stuff. And we'll just do that for like an hour. So let's go.
In the morning when I rise and bring a tear of joy to my eyes, tell me everything is gonna be alright now. Seems there's no more.
I know, I get it. So this is Tommy. He's hanging out with us today. This is Mason. So you know, we put out that song, or we're putting out the song tonight at midnight. But by the time y'all see this, the song will be out. So go stream it. Call it Tonight I Need You. I thought I just saw legs.
Time girl, arm around my shoulder, shut down your favorite bar. I don't wanna be your good time girl.
Cool. So I just met another Taylor Austin. What's up? Holy shit.
From Kentucky, too.
From Kentucky. What part of Kentucky y'all from? Oh my gosh. So I'm from the other side, but are we taking a picture? Yeah. Are y'all hanging out? Did y'all?
We came for you.
No way. You know what? I think it's at this stage, but the round doesn't start till 7, and we go on at 8. So, well, hell yeah, y'all! This is awesome. I'm so glad y'all come. So this is Mason Horne, and we're putting out a song tonight at midnight called "Tonight I Need You." By the time y'all see this, the song will already be out. So you should go check it out. But we're gonna perform that together when we play here in about an hour. It's about to be badass.
Arm around my shoulder, shut down your favorite bar. I don't wanna be
The bar's pouring big shots tonight. I love it. So with that being said, I'm gonna do a drinking song. This is about people that get mean when they drink, which is definitely not me. I'm a lover, but I wrote this song about my mom because she cannot drink liquor without trying to fight everybody 10 counties over. So this song is called Mean. Mason's got the shirt on, so I gotta do it. It goes like
It's a badass
this.
shirt, y'all. Y'all go check it out.
They say I'm mean. Lord, she's got a temper, and honestly, I just can't remember the last time I went out without showing out or getting kicked out of the bar. And I can't help but do it to myself. I always take it too far. And if I
heaven, baby. That Jim Beam makes me me. I swear I swore it all for good. Just because you can don't mean you should. If I drink a shot of whiskey, Katie, bar the door. And if I think you're looking at me, we'll wind up on the floor. Kissing, cussing, fighting, fussing, everything in between. I just can't help it, baby. That Jim Beam makes me. And if I drink a shot of whiskey, Katie, bar the door. And if I think you're looking at me, we'll wind up on the floor. Kissing, cussing, fighting, fucking, everything in between. I just can't help it, baby. That Jim Beam makes me me.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's one way to lighten things up. So this whole thing is in honor of our song coming out tonight.
Tonight at midnight, y'all. Tonight at, well, actually 11 o'clock Nashville time.
11 o'clock Nashville time, y'all. So at 11 o'clock, if you will, please, if you want to, pull your phone out and look us up and go check that song out, and it really will help us out a lot. And this is that song. It's called Tonight I Need You.
11 o'clock Central Time, midnight Eastern. Tonight I Need You. Dropping everywhere. Y'all go check it out.